We're going to be talking about the C4 sales methodology from a pretty high level. That being said, before this call started, I took the time to read through from front to back our C4 sales script, which you get a part of our 7-day Practice Igniter Challenge. It's $47, best $47 you ever spend in being able to grow your firm. You get this script when you sign up. And the reason I bring this up is that I read my own material from front to back. And I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm not. But when I read it, I literally said, I can't believe this is one part of something we sell. This alone is worth so much. The value that's in this to guide you with the most effective sales techniques for accounting professionals is I'm so proud of what Maureen and I put together with this. It's so awesome. And I want to make sure that I give you as much value as possible without giving away the farm. But if you don't have this yet, $47 plus a whole litany more in the 7-day Practice Igniter Challenge as a part of the announcements in the group. You should be able to access it. I think Maureen's going to be able to drop a link in the comment section as well for ease of access. But let's go ahead and talk about C4 sales training. Now, sales, the whole topic of this week, sales can be tough. Let's just say it outright. So weird environment, you know your value, you want to help them to see it, understand it, but there's a disconnect a lot of times. And it's hard to put your finger on why that disconnect happens. And what we want to do is we want to be as efficient as possible with every opportunity we get. Every opportunity, it could literally change your life when you're able to help someone to see the value of your services and get them to say, yes, you know what? Let me take my credit card out of my wallet and buy it from you. I trust you. And then all of a sudden, now that they trust you, their network trusts you. Everyone wants to say, yeah, referrals. I love referrals more than anybody. They're amazing. But you get more of them when you're willing to grow your firm organically and when you're willing to deploy the right type of sales mentality. Now, before we go any further, I want to clarify one other thing. I don't use high pressure sales tactics. You can ask any of my clients, any of the people I've had the chance to present our Create Your Dream Firm program to. I don't do those things. I don't need to. You don't need to. So we're not going to talk about those things. So everyone just relax, especially if you get on the call with me, just relax. If it's a good decision, it's a good decision. If I build enough value ahead of time, I build enough value ahead of time. And it's the same exact thing for you. I've used this word a couple of times now. And if you're taking notes, and I encourage you to take notes on this particular training, value. It's probably the word I hear the most during any opportunity I have with an accounting professional. I want people to understand my value. And I just turn around and I say, what does that really mean? Honestly, if I'm sitting here in the small business owner's perspective and I'm talking to you, the accounting professional, and you're telling me about your value, what do you mean? That's not to say you're not valuable. Do not take this the wrong way. You are exceptionally valuable. But I want to make sure that when we use certain words, that we have the same definition. And this is a great piece of sales methodology to bring into your conversations. Anyone who's had a conversation with me about the Create Your Dream Firm program, I talk about the importance of systems, but I always make sure we use the same working definition of a system. So I ask you, if you bring up the word value, make sure that you have an understanding of a definition for it and that you can easily explain it to your client. So let me help you for a second here, right? What do I mean when I say value? Results. Value is a synonym for results. Now, from your perspective, it's your value. From the small business owner's perspective, the perspective that matters the most during the sales process is with them. What's in it for me? What's in it for you is the results that you're going to receive when you experience the value my service has to offer. Now, it might sound like I use results in two different ways there, but what I did is I tied the value to what the business owner wants. The business owner wants a tangible thing, and it's hard to offer tangible things with an intangible. Every service, my service, your service, is an intangible. I was talking to a gentleman earlier today, and I hadn't done enough to earn his trust at this point. There could have been some other factors, but it simply wasn't there yet. That's okay. That's totally okay. Now, I need to reflect on that presentation. I need to be able to record it. Another reason why Zoom is fantastic. Look at what potentially went wrong, why there wasn't the trust that could have been there, or maybe the timing just wasn't right, and that's okay. That's okay as well. And so the idea, again, here is that you have to be able to tie your value to the results that you can give so that the small business owner understands what the value is. The results are what bridges their understanding to your value. Cool? Cool. Give me a hashtag block party down below. Okay, so just to review, no high pressure sales tactics. We don't need to do it. Second thing is we need to make sure that we use clarity of language during our presentations. And so now let's actually dive into the C4 sales methodology. And so the C4 sales methodology is made up of 4 different principles, and needless to say, C4, explosive sales, should be relatively understood. But C1, and if this isn't the most guy heart you've ever seen, that is the most pathetic looking heart I think I've ever seen in my life. But C1 is all about care. And there's 2 types of care: self-care and caring for others. Now, the reason this is so critically important is that if you notice the way that I come to these coaching calls, the way that I come to my webinars, the way that I approach my one-on-one opportunities, the way I approach my coaching clients for those that have an opportunity to do that. What up, Dream Firm leaders? The idea here is that I exude positivity. When you exude positivity, people want to gravitate towards you. They want to work with you. And right now you can see there's a lot of negativity out there on social media. I mean, it's hard to literally pull yourself out of it right now. And what I challenge you to do is that not shy away from what's going on, not at all. What I'm asking you to do is that you can control your emotions, especially in the sales opportunity. And the most important thing you can do when it comes to controlling your emotions is learn to love yourself. That might sound conceited, it might sound wrong, but there's a philosophical discussion that I love, and it's a story from when I was a philosophy major. I had hair down to my shoulders in college, and essentially I had a class on love and friendship in the ancient world. Okay, and I had this philosophy teacher. His name was Dr. Payne, like literally, guy teaching about love and friendship. His name was Dr. Payne. I kid you not. And so, long story short, we're learning about Aristotle's definition of love. And he says, what are the 3 types of love? And we go, well, you know, I love my significant other. He goes, okay, so love, like a love of a spouse. Okay. We go, well, I love my parents or my friends, my family. Okay, love of your family or your community. Okay, great. Are you missing anything? I said, well, maybe love of a deity or an entity or something of that. Okay, well, yeah, all right. So we could put that into its own branch. Are we missing anything else? Love of a pet, community, love of... And so we just kept going back and forth, and finally this sorority girl, and she raises her hand, you know, all dolled up, pretty girl, and she raises her hand and she goes, self-love? The audible gasp that occurred in the room, I wish I had it on camera. It was hilarious. People went, like, how dare you reference the idea that you should love yourself? And sure enough, Dr. Payne, and is the most stoic guy you'll ever meet in his life. That's correct. Self-love. It is the basis of your ability to love, period. If you do not love yourself, and I think we all know these people, they don't love themselves, and they have problems, and maybe rightfully so in many respects, but they're not willing to love themselves. Therefore, it makes it hard to want to love them back. It's not to say you don't feel obligated, but it's harder than it needs to be. And what's fascinating about when you learn to love yourself, care for yourself, take care of yourself, something magical happens. You are now able to care for other people in a higher capacity. When you think about the purpose of a service business, it is to care for other people in a way in which they are unable or unwilling to care for themselves. People don't want to do their accounting, bookkeeping, and tax. They want you to do it. So if you want to do it and you want to own it and you want to take care of it, it starts with loving yourself. That allows you to love other people on a higher level. I don't want to go too deep into that, but believe me. And you might say, but wait a minute, Tyler. Doesn't that lead to nepotism? Doesn't that lead to being a megalomaniac? No, actually it's the exact opposite, because here's the deal. When you love another, when you love your significant other, your spouse, your wife, your husband, whoever, right? What do you really want them to do? When you help them, when I help you, even as a client, when you help your clients, what are you trying to get them to do? Maybe love themselves a little bit more? Appreciate life a little bit more? It's a very interesting loop. So my job for Maureen is to help her to love herself more. Maureen's job for me, and I don't like to say job, but is to help me to love myself more. And as long as we're aligned on that path, you have a fantastic life. It's the same thing is true for your clients. As long as I'm there to help you to love yourself through your business and being more effective with growing your firm, you will love yourself more. You will be able to love those around you more. So I don't mean to go too deep on that, but it's one of my favorite topics. And so the idea here is we have to care for ourselves first, and then we recognize that we're able to care for others at a much higher level. And if we do that and we bring that embodiment, we bring positivity, and people want to associate, especially now more than ever, with positivity. Hashtag block party in the comment section down below. All right. C2. I really need to work on my handwriting. C2 out of 4, curiosity. C2 of the C4 sales method. I like to say curiosity killed the cat, but gives life to the introverted entrepreneur. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Well, I think most people struggle with the idea of being able to have efficient sales or feel like they need to sell because they have to make statements all the time. Do you know what I mean? You feel like you have to tell them everything, but there's this old saying, telling is selling. Nobody wants to be sold, but everybody loves to buy. Nobody likes to be sold, but everybody loves to buy. So how do you create the desire to buy without telling and selling? You see these? There's a reason there's 3 of them. There's a reason they're circled in red. Questions are what makes you a thought leader. I've never spoke to a single entrepreneur who would say, you know what, I don't want to be the thought leader in my field. I just, I want to be second best. I'm happy, I'm happy just, being recognized as someone who's behind the curve. No one says that. So the question is, how do you actually become a thought leader? It's actually as simple as understanding leading thoughts, asking questions, guiding someone to a logical place. If they're on the phone to explore your services, there is interest. They are looking for reasons to buy, okay? They're literally looking for reasons to buy. The question is how do you help guide them to those reasons without telling them what they are? Now, that might sound confusing or like some Far East philosophy, and in a sense it is. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to guide them to the right conclusions by asking them questions, guiding their thoughts, not forcing them, guiding them through the quality of the questions we choose to ask. And very quickly, inside of the C4 sales script, there's 42 quality questions pre-baked into this. So you may not be asking these questions, but you certainly should be on your sales calls. So point is curiosity. What are good questions to ask? And I'll actually go through one of the exercises inside of this script, inside of the script here, because we talk about C2. And one of the exercises I recommend to help you get more comfortable with curiosity is a game that I learned. This is going to sound weird, but this is a game that I learned at a survival camp. In my early, I guess, early 20s, I was very interested in survival camps, outdoors, nature. And so I went to this legit guru in the Pine Barrens to learn about tracking and tracking in the woods, like being able to follow deer tracks and all sorts of things. Very, very interesting training. It's Tom Brown Jr. Anyone interested in that, encourage you to check it out. But the point is, Tom challenged us to not give answers, but to ask questions specifically related to a mark, a track, right? And this is so fascinating specifically for sales as well, but essentially there was a mark in a piece of bark. Anything could have made that mark. And so with a group of people, we all just asked questions. We weren't allowed to provide answers. There's like 4 or 5 of us just asked questions about what could have possibly made this mark. And what's interesting is that I learned more about what the answer could have been instead of trying to give an answer by simply asking a wide variety, even questions that were totally off the wall that ultimately led to one that was really useful. And the reason this is so critical from the C4 sales perspective is that you will ask good questions, a lot of good questions, but your job is to consciously reflect, use Zoom potentially, watch your recordings. That was a great question. Take note of it, wrap it into your next question, and your process evolves over time. And if you want to, after this is done, write down a note. I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to write as many questions down about what a small business owner would be curious about related to my services. And just boom, 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 and just go, 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 go. And then go back through. Don't give any answers. Ask questions. Go back through and circle. That's a great question. How would I phrase that from my perspective so that they would be instantly curious? Well, are you wondering about how best to... Have you ever thought about, right? So those are great lead-in ways to phrase almost statements or help phrase a question that you would like your audience to ask, but maybe they're not sure how to. It's a great tactic. So phrasing questions. And the last thing that I'll say about curiosity is you'll notice that I do something a lot. And if you see me doing it, usually it's a good thing to potentially mimic. Okay. What did I just do there? Okay. What do you naturally say when someone goes, okay? Yes. Right? Yes. Makes sense? Yes. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. There are many ways to phrase a statement and turn it into a question. Do you understand? I literally just, do you understand? And it's now a question. So when you find yourself using statements to be able to give an effective presentation, which we're going to get to in just a second, you want to make sure that people are paying attention. So you'll take the time to just pause for a moment and use I call them almost like micro questions. You'll just take a minute to end a statement with, yeah, sound good? Okay, makes sense. Do you understand? Do you follow? Yes. Almost all those questions are guaranteed to be yeses. But the key is to break up any period of blah, 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 right? I feel like I got to present. Wait a minute. Stop. Go back to C4. What do I need to be doing? Asking questions. Exuding positivity, asking questions. Those are the first 2. All right? But how do they know I'm the best accountant in the world for them? How do they know? How do they know? Well, we want to be consultants more than anything else, right? And consulting is the ability to give out expert advice. It's in the business of giving out expert advice, okay, right? And when we break out business is monetary exchange. You're on a free consultation. These people are not clients yet, okay? We're attempting to solicit their business, but they're not clients yet. So we want to pull that in a little bit. But at the same time, we want to make sure they know that we're capable of being consultants, that the power of our collective knowledge and wisdom is so readily accessible and available to them, right? Like we have to get that across somehow. So we want to be consultants. And there's a reason the image down here is a little gift. Okay. We want to build, jot this down, the idea of reciprocity into our sales presentations every single time. If I give you something of value now, the odds that you give me something of value later to be able to become a client ideally go up dramatically. I've had people who go, well, I charge $300 to answer that question. And I understand if we're on the call with a price shopper and they're just like peppering you with questions, but the only reason that would happen is if you relinquish control of the presentation and you stop asking questions. They should not be able to pepper you with questions because you're the thought leader. You're guiding them to where they want to be, which is to become a client. You are guiding them. You are guiding them. And when you're guiding them and you're getting ready to drop a knowledge bomb, that's going to just be like, wow, wow. It goes back to one of the best questions you can ask during your curiosity, during your probe, during understanding who they are as an individual. Why are we on the phone right now? What is the problem you are experiencing? Why are we on the phone right now? I'm just here to compare quotes. Bye. You know, I'm really struggling with being able to understand profitability. Hello, right? Like, I am interested in talking to you. Wonderful. So you indicated that you were insert major pain point. And while I normally wait to give advice until I've done my full client discovery, I can tell you, and since I like you a little bit, I can tell you that X, Y, and I can tell you that insert the knowledge piece. Give them a little taste of what's to come. They're trying to figure out if they trust you. Give them reasons to buy. Don't give them reasons not to buy. And the key here is don't give away the farm. Oh, great. I should be an S Corp. So are you saying also that I appreciate the question, but to be honest, at this point in time, I have to protect myself as a liability because to continue to give out information, well, I don't know enough to be able to advise you as best as I could. However, I'm happy to help you to become a client in just a few minutes and we can start saving. Does that sound good? Sound good? Yeah. Or, actually, hey, listen, I have another call coming up in a couple of minutes. I'm happy to help you with the major problem that you outlined, and I believe I did. But are there any questions you have related to becoming a client that I can assist you with? Control the conversation. And don't be afraid to say, hey, look, I get the sense that we're not going to be a great fit. I've been trying to ultimately help you to make an informed decision, but it doesn't look like we're able to do that right now. So I wish you the best of luck, right? Don't be afraid to do that. You have power in this situation if you choose to use it, okay? So consulting, don't be afraid to give the gift. Be willing to give the gift, exude positivity, and ask fantastic questions, okay? All right. Oh, man. C4 of 4. What ultimately makes the C4 sales process, in my opinion, and this term, certainty, won't lie. Won't sugarcoat it for you. I don't believe in doing those things. It's tough. Give me a hashtag block party down below if you're joining us, by the way. I won't lie to you guys. I never will. Certainty is not an easy thing to obtain. But I do believe that if you have one singular belief, you will have it. If I choose to take my credit card out of my wallet and buy from you, not that you have the answers right now. I don't expect you to have the answers right now. Nobody expects you to have all the answers all the time. That's a ridiculous request. That is not a dream client. That will never happen. So let's not even entertain it. If I take my credit card out of my wallet and agree to buy from you, are you willing to put in the work to find the right answers? If the answer is yes, you have this. I'm certain I'm the right person for you. Are you willing to put in the work to justify my investment in your services? I am certain that if you invest in my services, I will make sure you get the service you deserve. I am certain of that. I am certain also that by choosing to make that investment, your quality of life, the results, the value, the results that I'm capable of delivering to you I'm certain that it will improve your quality of life. I am certain that you will be able to have exactly what I say by making the promises that I'm making to you as a part of this presentation. I'm certain. Confidence, right? No. Confidence is for children. Certainty is for entrepreneurs. And so while I know we're going to cover pricing in detail either tomorrow or the day after, and I actually had a nice revelation about pricing. Shout out to Carla Navarro, Dream Firm leader. Loved that part of our group Q&A call yesterday. Just pure money. So I've adjusted things a little bit. So there's going to be some differences in that. But you give me a hashtag block party, there's a chance you get to do the sales role play with me in action. It's going to be super, super cool. Give me a hashtag block party down below. And so what I want to talk about during certainty related to pricing is that when you bring up pricing, this can make or break how much someone trusts you. It is in my opinion, the defining moment in whether or not you tip the scales from maybe, I'm on the fence. Yes, I want to buy. No, I don't really believe you. If I believe you, yes, I want to buy. I don't really believe you're capable of delivering because I don't believe you're certain. I don't. Nobody wants to buy from someone who's half in, half out. So how do we have certainty during our pricing conversation? And again, if you guys want more information on this, Igniter C4 Sales Script breaks all of this stuff down in like ridiculous detail. It is a fantastic resource. Certainty with pricing. One phrase to rule them all. I wish I had a ring, right? One ring to rule them all. One phrase to rule them all in pricing. Repeat it till you can say it in your sleep. Repeat it until you can say it in your sleep. We can do all of this for only. 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 Do you think I got used to saying that when I was running my firm? I did. We can do all of this for only $500 a month. We can do all of this for only $1,000 per month. We can do all of this for only $5,000 per month. But Tyler, didn't you skip over the presentation part? You're right, I did a little bit. So when it comes to presenting, before you get to your price, right, what am I even buying? We want to make sure that we are taking what they need, their major pain point, and building our presentation around it and plugging the services and the associated benefits into them. So look, you indicated that profitability is one of the major issues that you're struggling with in your business right now. And what I'm here to tell you is that I know our firm can solve that problem. And to help you solve that problem, here's exactly what you're going to get should you choose to work with us. We're going to make sure that we take care of your books on a monthly basis. Now, what does that really translate to you? Actionable data to make informed decisions. Let me ask you this. Do you know what your biggest cost was in the last 30 days and how much it's actually impacting your business? Do you know how to maximize your write-offs at the end of the year? Right? We're going to plant the questions. So again, the value of bookkeeping is one, you win back your time and it's something that has to be done. But more than that, it is the ability to make better decisions. If you make better decisions, you'll reach your growth goals faster. Do you agree? Do you agree? Another micro question. Of course. Excellent. So we know bookkeeping we have to do. But what about, and then, so did you see bookkeeping is small. The benefit and the associated question is 90% of what I just said there. And it ends with a question that makes them want it. That's the presentation, guys. So what they need, little bit about the service, 90% about the actual benefit, how it impacts their life, how it gives them the result, the tangible value, the result. And then one more thing, the question to make sure they understand. Makes sense? You see how that's valuable? Absolutely. Yeah, of course. And you do that for each corresponding service and benefit. Okay. And then when it comes time to announce your price, now, does that sound like it would solve all of the problems you've outlined? Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. We can take care of all of this for only. We can take care of all this for only. We can do all this for only. We can take care of all of this for only insert your price. Okay. And when you get to that point, if you go around, let me get in your QuickBooks file. I think a discount because you remembered my name. I'll email you. No. What does that say? What does that say? I'm barely confident when these words come up. I'm barely confident. And all it takes is a little bit of memorization. That's not to say it's going to be easy right away, but it is simple. It's simple. Memorize those words. We can do all this for only. We can take care of all of this for only. We can do all this for only. Insert price.